Good morning and welcome back to Withrow Urban Homestead. Today we're going to plant marigolds into our GreenStalk planters. This variety is French marigolds, and I grew them from a mixture of my own saved seeds and what was left over in last year's packet. These plants are 6 weeks old. Marigolds grow really fast, and they've already hardened off for a month because it's been so cold and rainy. I couldn't film planting them. So because it was such a delay, I did pot them up again because the cells they were in were too small. Now, I've found that using good-sized plants in my GreenStalk works best for me. I don't direct sow seeds in the pockets. I start the seeds under lights in the basement. And this is what has led to my success with GreenStalks. Now, I have 4 GreenStalks. And the spring flowers haven't hit their full bloom yet. Because like I said, it's been really wet and cold and rainy. Plus, this side of the house gets very limited sun. Only 2 hours a day and maybe some in the afternoon. So these are really behind the in-ground spring flowers. So I'm going to leave 2 GreenStalks with the spring flowers, and I'm going to switch out the other 2 for summer flowers. Now I did save those spring flowers, and I put them in a container. So we'll see if they survive. So I'm going to plant 4 tiers each with 1 pocket of marigolds. I redesigned my 5-tier planters into 4 levels. That's the size that works best for me. So there's going to be a diagonal of marigolds in each GreenStalk. Now the marigolds that we planted in the front garden, they're going to get to be about 8 to 12 inches tall and wide. But here in the GreenStalks, they're not going to get that big because these pockets are smaller and they get less sun. So don't expect a full-size plant in your GreenStalks. It has its limit just like any container that you grow in. Expect a smaller plant. Now don't overwater your marigolds. Test the top inch of the soil, and if it's dry, then go ahead and water. Now in-ground marigolds are going to require watering less frequently, and containers dry out quicker, so you're going to have to water more frequently. And if you notice, I don't use the top reservoir because this is on a slope. And it's tilted and it doesn't flow correctly. Plus we have these really tall windows that look down, and I want the top to be beautiful and full of growth. This is what works best for me. I water each pocket. Now, the GreenStalks are a great design. It just doesn't work properly in this space. Now, marigolds, they're not heavy feeders, but this container has limited nutrition. This soil is left over from last year, so I will have to feed the marigolds. And I plan to use a general blooming fertilizer from Fox Farm every 2 to 4 weeks, depending. Now, deadheading and pruning aren't required, but they will benefit from it. And I do remove the old spent flowers and any brown, dead-looking stems. I cut those off. But near fall, I leave a few flowers to develop into seeds. Now, it's hard to find heirloom seeds for marigolds, but the hybrid seeds save well and grow nice, beautiful new plants. I've been doing that for years and years. Now, can you see how the camera sloped? I do turn this a quarter turn every day to give it more equal access to the sun. Now, these flowers are edible. People tend to use them in salads or over prepared dishes, but they can be spicy. Now you want your soil level with the top of each pocket tier. Don't make it down lower because then the plant sets too low and it's down in the shade. I like to alternate greens and flowers in each pocket. And the greens are perennial. So I have strawberries, herbs, and creeping jenny. And they all come back after winter. Now, if you notice, these strawberries are smaller than the ones that are in the ground because, again, this is a container. And it's not going to be the same size as the one in the garden. You can see the sun is coming. What else? Also, I said I'm going to feed 2 to 4 weeks depending. Well, it's going to depend on the plants that it's sharing with. I need to research how often these strawberries can be fertilized because I didn't put these in here until the summer. We had a drought and some of the strawberries were suffering, so I moved them to the GreenStalk. Now let's get the last one planted. Squirrels will dig in these GreenStalks because they want the soft soil to hide their food. And yes, they'll even climb to the top and dig. So I need to protect these plants. And once the roots are established, marigolds are drought tolerant, but they will benefit from mulch. So we're going to water them in well today and every day for a week to make sure those roots don't dry out. Marigolds are also rabbit and deer resistant. That's great if you live in the country, or even here, we have rabbits in the city. They're such an easy flower to grow, and they're good for kids. Petunias and periwinkles are going to be the next two videos. But I want to wait until I get some shade back in that area. Thank you for visiting Withrow Urban Homestead. See you later. Bye-bye.